Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairy Muppet. Welcome back to the Hairy Bash Grand Finals Ace Match. So this is the absolute last game of the Grand Finals, and the winner of the entire tournament and the receiver of $100 Australian will be decided in this game right here, right now. And there'll also be $50 for second place, which is awesome too. So yes, first of all, I've looked at the length of time in the replay, and you've looked at the length of time in the video, and let's just say we're both absolutely flabbergasted how long it lasts. It may be a bit shorter than you would think if you look at it, because what I'm going to do is I have no idea what goes on in this game. My guess would be a lot of swarm host play based on the time, but yes, what I am going to do is if I start to get into cases where swarm hosts are just slugging each other for like 10 minutes in a row or something like that, I may just, my mouse is doing something funny, I may just actually speed up the game. Just if there's nothing new is happening, I just speed it up to like ×2 or ×4 or something, just to skip past it. But for the most part, it's going to be epic. Let's just leave it like that. It's going to be epic. So yeah, definitely going to be one of the best ace matches we've ever seen as far as any game concerned, not even just ace matches. So yeah, we're going to be checking it out. But as you can see, even the most epic of games does start off pretty small, and it looks like it's going to be insanely macro intensive. We've got hatch first for both players, and I wonder if anybody's ever done like a triple hatch into a pool, like as in go for 2 expansions, go for 3 base before you even put a spawning pool down. I mean, I do that when I'm playing 1v1 versus AI, grinding my XP up to get to level 35, because I've started grinding a lot since they added the 100,000k bonus every day. There used to be 25k, now it's 100, so I've been doing that a lot recently. But yeah, and then I go like double expansion before I even get a spawning pool. And because it's the AI, because yeah, it's just whatever, the AI is not that smart, so usually get away with it. But I have seen it like once or twice in an actual pro game, but don't look like we're going to be seeing it here. Looks like it's just going to be pretty standard stuff from both players, and they did go for a pretty macro intensive game last time, and they're probably going to be aiming to do that again, simply because it's so close to the wire. You don't want to go for anything really crazy, like anything that's potentially risky. That's going to be really risky, that might send you over the edge. So yeah, pretty standard play, I guess. And yeah, I hope it does work out for them. Look at this cool little thing. I'm pretty convinced this is actually a Blizzard thing that just shows up in replays, like an actual, it's not like an add-on or some crazy map thing or something like that. Like sometimes they have the banners on the ground and stuff like that for like the Team Story Cups. I'm pretty sure this is actually a Blizzard thing. So I've got to cast a replay of myself playing, and I will check it out then, because I think I've got an image on my clan, but I guess it only includes maybe you play a replay and then you apply the image after the replay has already been cast, and maybe Battle.net will pull it out. I wouldn't have thought so though, because you can cast replays offline. So I think the image is probably captured in the replay. So if I already had a replay and then I changed the image afterwards, it probably wouldn't be captured. So I don't know if I had the image when I played the replay, but whatever. Double baneling nest, well, a baneling nest for each player anyway. So I always wonder why the thing is so huge and then the baneling nest pops up and it's actually quite a skinny thing. This little bubble makes no sense for the baneling nest, because yeah, it should be like really tall and really thin, but it's not. So kind of, yeah, it doesn't make all that much sense. But anyway, Pig with a ton of lings coming out, and at least these guys are keeping the same colors, so it doesn't confuse me too much. Wow, this is some great detail on the grass. Look at the detail, man. It's just so beautiful. And no, there's nothing else going on. It's just a bunch of lings heading in for Petraeus. Oh, Baneling getting off a nice hit. Not a huge hit, but a nice hit, and that one's a nice hit as well. Definitely evening it out quite nicely, and Petraeus is going to have to back off there. So nice baneling hits from Pig, and is going to be pushing that away very nicely. A bunch of banelings actually coming in, but Pig does have a couple of lings chasing them. Oh, Spine Crawler, what a hit. And this queen is just going to have to fend for itself, but this baneling has such a low amount of health, and it's just going to be hiding over there. We'll see how long that stays undetected, but hopefully not too long. I think an Overlord should just go straight over it at some point. And here we go, Petraeus with a ton of links, few banelings there as well, and a little hit force coming in by Pig, but there's not really going to be all that much. Looks like the baneling got killed by the Queen, did a little bit of damage to it, but yeah, that's fine. So not really too much going on. Third base coming down for Pig. Third base presumably going to be coming down for Petraeus pretty soon. I hope that I'm saying Petraeus' name correctly. It could be like Petraeus or Petraeus or Petraeus. I don't know. There's probably a few ways it could be said, but Petraeus, it sounds alright. So, ton of banelings coming in. The Spore Crawler is doing a great job. The Spike Crawlers almost directly destroy that. It's just a little bit low, and I don't think you can actually upgrade their damage. It's interesting. I wonder if the attack, like the Roach attack, actually upgrades the Spine Crawler, because if it does, then it will one-shot a baneling, because that almost killed it. So I'm pretty sure if you upgrade its damage, you would one-shot it, but I don't know if you actually can. I mean, I think as far as buildings go, there's very little upgrades you can do. I know Terrans, they got a special upgrade to do the armor bit for the building armor, and then what's the other one? It's like the Protoss shields apply to the Protoss shields apply to buildings as well. Excuse me, I got a bit of a cough, which is not good considering how long this game is going to be, but took a lozenge before, so hopefully that should be kicking in pretty soon. And yeah, it's just so much talking, man. Talking wears out my voice, so gotta take I usually take a lozenge just before I start casting, and that definitely helps me out with the cough. But here we go. All these banelings does not want to get those killed, but manages to defend here, and Petraeus doing a pretty good job. A lot of banelings here, but chooses to cancel them at the last second. Oh, banelings coming in. The Roaches managed to take out one, but they're getting surrounded by the Lings here. And this is not good. Sees a couple of bloody Roaches coming up to reinforce. Does take out the Roaches, but the rest of the Lings destroyed in baneling hits. So far, Petraeus doing a pretty good job, getting a lot of upgrades out as well. But Pig is jumping straight into the Roaches as well. Also getting a lair. Do we have a lair out for Petraeus? Yes, we do. So both players doing pretty good. They're pretty much on the same wavelength at the moment. That Queen really going out of her way to try and get an Overlord. Doesn't quite get it though. And we've got a couple of Roaches coming out. Petraeus may be hoping to get something happening here, but Pig does have enough forces to deal with it. And this map, I mean, is not huge enough, like, to really make things incredibly painful to try and attack your opponent, but it is long enough, so it does take quite a while to get across. Although we'll probably be seeing a lot of creep spread in this game, which definitely should help out on that side of the map. And wow, 14. So now that's a ton of Roaches coming out for Pig. He's currently up to 18 over 14, and he's just building a ton more as time goes on. So Pig definitely thinking about some Roach pressure in this game. Like to finish off nice and early. Haha, we know that's not actually going to happen because we know how long the game lasts, but give him props anyway. And we got some bunch of infestation pits coming out, and the swarm hosts. Yeah, you know those guys are going to come out sooner or later, so might as well start coming out now. But yes, here we go. Roaches. Pig has got a ton of Roaches right now. He's up to 23 over 17. Petraeus not slowing down in the Roach production though. He's got his own Roaches out. Both players on level 2 weapons. Petraeus also pushing level 1 armor, which should be quite awesome. And yeah, the infestation pit's about to come out, so gonna be interesting to see what happens here. How's our economy going as well? Pretty good. Both players pretty much evened up. Both players fully mining 3 bases. I don't know when they're going to go for a 4th base. Probably around the 15-minute mark would be my guess. They've got quite a lot of economy going on. 65, 67, that's a lot. So, yeah, I'd say 4-minute mark. Probably well, not 4-minute mark, 14, 15-minute mark. Although Petraeus jumping the gun a little bit, going for the 4th base right now. And yeah, okay, if he wants to go for it now, that's fine. Just makes me look like an idiot, but I suppose he doesn't care too much. So there we go. I think a baneling was there somewhere, but got killed by the Roaches. Bunch of Roaches running out to defend this base. Petraeus definitely has a lot. 31 under 35. And Pig, do we have a Hydra den for either player? I do not think so. I think they've gone into the both got into the infestation pit sort of play right here, and this is going to be pretty awesome. So going to be seeing a lot of fungals on Roaches. And as always, with Roaches, it's going to come down to who gets the better positioning as to who gets the win versus these Roaches. The Roaches is going to be getting Oh, get the watchtower, dude. Oh, he must have known those lings were coming anyway because he is Overlord, so decided to get out of there instead. Pretty good. Look at these Overlords, just vision absolutely everywhere. Petraeus going to be defending here, sends out a small group of roaches just beyond the grass. A little bit of a pause going on here, and the ling's deciding just to get out of there, actually going for the rocks in between. I don't know why, he's obviously deciding that's a better route for him to be taking. And going in there, the ling's actually going to get in for a bit of a scout here. They're going to see the infestation pit, going to have a bit of a crack at the queen, not much else going on. And looks like Petraeus thinking about moving out, taking this 4th base. But Pig sees it, and he's going to be jumping in and defending this. Now, actually, he's decided just to cancel this base. Surprised. I would have thought he'd taken these guys down, flanked this force, and just completely wiped him out. Because then, I mean, 10 free roach kills, however many roaches this is not something you want to pass up easily. So, yeah, definitely I think he would have gone for it. But he's definitely moving his roaches out now. These guys getting a bit ahead of them, trying to get a fungal off of them, not quite happening. And yeah, the Pig manages to retreat in fine form. And we do have some Hydras coming out from both players now. And the 4th base is coming down once again for Pig. And this could become quite a big sticking point if Petraeus keeps the pressure up on that base. Pig's not having much luck keeping the pressure on any of Petraeus' bases. Of course, he hasn't really tried yet. He hasn't really tried to take out any of Petraeus' bases. But Petraeus has been putting out the pressure on Pig's base. And I may have to stop saying Petraeus because there's just too many syllables in one name. And it's having a lot of trouble getting out of my mouth. So I may have to shorten it. Because this game is going to be long and I don't want to be saying Petraeus. It's I don't know, it's just too much. I think his nickname is Pet, so we may just have to start using that. Pet and Pig. I mean, it's a lot easier to say, so we will see. As the game goes on, whatever comes out of my mouth is going to come out of my mouth. So we're just going to have to run with that. And even I don't know what I'm going to start calling him. So we're just going to have to go with it. And I've been calling him Petraeus for every single game so far. So it may just have to happen. We've got a concave happening on both sides. Pig is doing pretty good. And the fungal is doing a great job of shortening these roaches' lives. But in the end, I think that Petraeus has the numbers. And he's going to be chasing these guys away. So Pig jumping back, leaving one roach behind. I don't know why. But hoping maybe to take out an infestor or something. So pretty good. Pig going for a ton of roaches out there. And going for his 4th base still. No. He's building where's he building this? Ah, it's a macro hatch. I was wondering about that. I thought maybe he lost a base and I hadn't realized it. But no, he has not. Pet going for level 3 attack. Which is very awesome. He's currently on 2-2. And sorry, Pig was going for level 3. Pet is actually, oh, this is confusing now. Pet and Pig, I'm going to get confused if I start calling them that. So anyway, Pet is going for 3-3. And Pig is going for just level 2 armor. Yeah, this is too confusing. Okay, alright. So whatever. Petraeus is going for 3-3. There we go. I'm going to have to stick with that because otherwise Pig and Pet is going to confuse the living hell out of me. I'm just going to get too confused. And a bunch of roaches coming down. Bunch of roaches. Pig is chasing him. Trying to leak in a ling. And Petraeus is like, dude, I don't have any lings. It's not going to work. So if the changeling, if it had changed to a roach, maybe it would have worked. But oh, Pig moving out in force here. Right into the middle of the map. Hoping to go for 2 different locations. Maybe. If there was a base over here, it'd be able to take it out. But there is no base over there. So not really much going to happen here. Petraeus just sort of sitting back, defending his bases, going for 3-3, getting the spire. So he's building up his forces. He's got the 4th base on the way. It's already there. And Pig, he's got his 4th base. So both players sort of comfortably sitting back, not really thinking about doing too much. Pig is trying to push out, but not with a lot of conviction at the moment. He's just sort of scouting around, making his presence known, taking out some overlords. He's like, hey, I finally got Hydras. Might as well snipe some overlords. And you know what? Petraeus should probably be doing the same thing. He really needs some air unit over there to take out this overseer because that guy is really deep in enemy territory. And here we go. Petraeus has got a nice bit of a concave here. If he can get up some sweet fungals, he could do some real damage. But Pig actually flanking around the other side of this gap. And now he's got a really big concave, and this is not good. So Petraeus' beautiful concave has been turned around, but I think he still may have the numbers. I'm really not sure. Those fungals going off beautifully, and I think Petraeus just has a lot of Hydras, which are doing a lot of damage. But finally, The concave just wraps itself around, and Petraeus has to back off right there. He's getting a ton of Hydras and Roaches though, so building a massive amount of forces for each player, just going absolutely nuts. And Pig is going to be getting the Spire as well. A couple of Infestors coming out for both players. No Swarm Host yet on the map, but no real advantage given to either player. So both looks like they're just going to be fighting forever and ever and ever, because they're not really gaining an advantage so far. A couple of Overlords moving out, but they do get taken out very, very quickly by the Hydraless forces of Pig. And now Pig is going to try and move up here, but every single force of Petraeus is on the high ground. Finally seeing that Overseer, and definitely wants to be killing that. But yeah, who knows if he's going to be able to get the range on. I thought Vipers actually had an air attack. Maybe that's just in single player. It doesn't look like they have one here. Oh, manages to find his way around to this base. Could potentially take it out if he splits his forces up right. He's got a nice concave here, but I don't think Pig has the forces to stand up to Petraeus, so he should definitely, I don't know, man, he's just going to be falling apart here. Really just put himself in a bad position there and did not have the forces necessary to make that happen. And now Petraeus has a very, very big advantage, and if he takes out a couple of bases here, if he takes out the 4th and 5th base of Pig, he could really, really start turning around. A beautiful fungal there is going to be slowing the army down. And will Petraeus go over here? He knows there's a base up there. I think he's going to go ahead and just take it out. Pig, if he's smart, he's going to cancel this right now. And there we go. Beautiful cancel there. But Pig, I don't know if Petraeus actually has enough time to go ahead and take this base over. He's still got the advantage in the army size for now, but the Roach is coming back to this main base, going to be trying to take some stuff out, and this is going to force Petraeus to fall back. I don't know if reinforcements can take these guys out. Maybe they can, maybe they can't, but for now he is going to take his main force back, and these guys burrowing deep into enemy territory to try and pull Petraeus' army back as far as it can. Looks like Petraeus has split his army. He's got the main force still over here, and he's just pulled back a few units, enough to take these guys out. Hopefully enough to take these guys out. Man, that Great Aspire looking like it might have been in a bit of trouble there, but here we go. Main army coming across here. Pig actually sending a lot of forces across, was hoping to pull the main army back and then have a crack at the 4th army when Petraeus had pulled his main army back. But Petraeus leaving enough of an army out there to actually sort of face that main army. And yes, if it's getting confusing for you, it's I got to apologize because it's all my fault. But anyway, moving on. Petraeus hoping to get some sort of flank there with these separate set of forces, but not quite happening. Both players once again maxed out, and Petraeus trying to get a 5th base over there on Pig's side of the map. And I don't know if it's going to happen because, yeah, I mean, Pig, he doesn't have too much creep in that area, but he does have an extractor there, which is going to be scouting it, so that's going to be beautiful. We may be teaming up for a large engagement here. We got a ton of forces spread out. For Petraeus as well, but on the low ground, and he's getting hit with a lot of fungals, and he's got to have to back out with it because he could not afford to let Pig just throw 3 fungals all over the place. So a bunch of infestors coming in. Where are the overseers? I cannot see any. A bunch of infested Terrans in this base would be quite devastating for Pig's economy. He's currently at 60, but that could change very, very soon. Oh, we do have a spore around here. Oh, these are actually Roaches. I thought they were infestors, but just Roaches going on here. And going to be trying to do some stuff, but they're eventually going to get chased back. Going to try and go for this base, but there's no spore here, but I think the jig is up. I think Pig knows that something's going on here. A bunch more Roaches coming in here. Managed to kill a queen, but not going to do much else. And the Roaches, are they still alive? I think they must be dead. No, they're up there actually, right up the top. And Pig doesn't realize they're up there. He's just going to be pulling his forces away. He's got an Overseer over there, and he's going to have to pull his forces back. Bailey running into them, doing barely any damage. And here we go. The Roaches doing a fantastic job here. Well, they didn't get too much, but they got a little bit of Pig's forces. This Overseer, man, still going nuts. Petraeus, he's got the Great Aspire. Oh, that's Pig. Pig is actually going for a Great Aspire. Petraeus has already got it. I think Petraeus has already got it. Yeah, so Pig building a ton of Corruptors. Petraeus a little bit ahead. And this is going to be a lot like what we saw last game, where Petraeus goes for mass air and backs it up with a ton of Hydras. And we saw last game that Pig only managed to defeat this brutal army from Petraeus by having a extremely large amount of fungals and just fungling the crap out of everything. And fungals really won the day for Pig last game, and I don't know if he can do it again, but we will be seeing though, sending in a lot of roaches, potentially just wanting to sack these guys to actually make room for some air tech, because he's got the minerals right here, but he's going to have lots of room being made with all the workers he's losing here, which is definitely not good. So, bunch of roaches coming in here as well. They're going to get taken out extremely fast. These guys are going to be taken out eventually as well, but knocking down the worker numbers somewhat. Petraeus trying to buy himself a bit of an advantage. And here we go, Roach coming into this base as well. So Petraeus once again doing a fantastic job of constantly aggressing absolutely everywhere. And we'll see if he can keep this up the entire game. Although we can see as the game goes on, as more and more stuff starts happening, the amount of economy you have starts to become less and less and less and less important. Especially when you've just got a massive amount of these minerals and gas just sitting there, just stockpiling. It starts to become less and less important. But anyway, Pig moving in here. I guess the question is, these 5th bases, what's going to happen with these 5th bases? Pig actually trying to do something with the 4th. There is a fairly large amount of forces here, quite a bit of Petraeus' main army defending that base. And here we go. Pig actually moving in, going to be taking this out, and another main force of roaches, hoping to get something happening, but Petraeus covering his bases, quite literally covering his bases very, very well, and going to be knocking back these roaches, getting a nice fungal off on them so they can't retreat as well. Very, very nice stuff, but that's just letting Pig have more supply for building more air, and his air army is starting to look quite crazy at the moment. 6 Broodlords, 10 Corruptors. I think he's got the advantage over Petraeus. He's got 5 Broodlords, 13 Corruptors. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I think Pig still has a bit of an advantage. But Petraeus getting this base, if he can keep this base down, if he can actually hold it on, then he's going to be in a great position, because of course, unfortunately, just dropping creep all over the place from your Overlord isn't as good as stopping at a base as it is in Terran or Protoss games, because in the Zerg games, you're dropping down creep all over the place and your opponent's just like, yeah, sweet dude, thanks. My hatchery was going to do that, but if you want to do that instead, that is cool. Creeped all over this thing, but somehow these little rocks didn't get covered, so that is a bit of an anomaly right there. He hasn't covered up, I was only covered a little bit of that one, but anyway, quite awesome. And we do have a couple of changelings in there as well from Petraeus. Sorry, actually I think they're created by Pig. Yeah, they're Pig, but they're coloured yellow because they're changelings, so they instantly change. But anyway, Broodlord's coming around, attacking the roaches, and the roaches are just like, well, this sucks. So yes, both players, I assume both players know they're going for air tech right now. They're going for level 2 air each, and it looks like Petraeus has managed to get this 5th base going. He's got a ton of spines coming in. Has he got any spores? Doesn't look like it. He'll probably get a few. Once he realizes that Pig is going for Broodlords, the same as him, he's definitely going to have to get a few. But of course, against Broodlords, it really doesn't matter too much if you have spores or not, because Broodlords outrange them by quite a significant margin, and you really need something else to deal with Broodlords. So we will see though, does Petraeus actually know he's facing Broodlords? That's the question, because yeah, I mean, Petraeus has definitely shown his own Broodlords. We see, I mean, Pig's own roaches have gone out and they've scouted the Broodlords. They know what they're facing. But does Petraeus know he's facing Broodlords? I just don't know. I mean, he's got a fairly decent amount of Vipers, does he? No, he's got 2. That's probably not enough. So I don't know if he really knows yet. I really don't. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting game coming up ahead. And it's 33 minutes. It's usually most of the action would have happened by now, but both of these players sort of, I guess, do not want to risk their army. They don't want to go in and do some crazy play and lose everything. But I suppose at some point you have to attack. Let's hope that they don't just sit here like stunned mullets for the next hour or something like that. Oh, very nice spore coil placement there. Knocking out one Overseer, almost killing the other. So Pig definitely solidifying the middle of the map. He has not gone for this 5th base yet, and I suppose he's waiting. And it's not a bad option to wait, because if he can get this later on, that will be income, which you will have then. And I mean, if Petraeus mines out all of his bases, and it looks like we may indeed be seeing a game where all the bases are mined out, then this base will be the last base in the game that actually has minerals left, and that could be a big advantage to be holding that base, because Petraeus could just mine himself out a lot quicker. And then if he gets some bad trades, all those minerals go down the drain, and Pig will be the only one with any mineral income left. So yeah, let's take a quick drink and reflect back on this game. Because yeah, this game is definitely going for the long haul. So let's have a look at the unit count. 15 Broodlords versus 4 for Petraeus. So he's not really pushing that hard. Corruptor numbers are about the same. He's got a few more infestors, but really the Hydra numbers are what Petraeus is focusing on. And unfortunately, he needs a few more Vipers. He's got 3. I would say a few more is definitely going to be a good idea. And we do have the Swarm Host thingamy-bob as well. I don't think he's got any Swarm Host, but he's thinking about him. So yeah, think in the long term. But yeah, definitely the Hydras are what Petraeus is going to be banking on right now, because the Broodlord numbers, man, he's going to have to yank these out crazy style. I don't think he's got any idea how many Broodlords Pig has. There's 15 Broodlords. That is freaking insane amount of Broodlords right there. And of course they got 3 weapons. I do not know what the upgrades are like for Petraeus as far as his air tech is going. 2-1, so 3-0 versus 2-1. Bunch of Broodlings coming in. And Petraeus, if he didn't realize before, he realizes now that there are a ton of Broodlords out on the map. I think he realized before though, so yeah, the fact that he's got Vipers and Hydras and all that, I think that is his game plan. He's going for this base as well, so he's trying to take everything, and Pig cannot let Petraeus sit back and take this base. He's got to move in here, he's got to wipe it out, but he's not in the best position to be moving in here. I mean, it's kind of cut off in both ways. And Petraeus has the high ground advantage. So yeah, getting a ton of Spore Crawlers. Exceptionally good idea here. I mean, you got the minerals, so you might as well spend it. And yeah, if he can spend all of these extra minerals he has right now, try and get some sort of advantage with the Spore Crawlers, then he is going to be in a great position. If he can hold on to this base, then he is going to be in a great position. And Pig right now, he looks like he's got everything, but he is right back up against the wall. Economically, he's back up against the wall. He needs to take a base. He needs to take a base fast before Petraeus mines them out. Because if Petraeus is allowed to hold both of these bases, he's got to mine them out. He's going to have a stupidly large amount of minerals. And then he is going to be owning Pig. And there's nothing Pig can do about it, because he is just going to be mined out. He's going to have no resources. So he's got to do something. He's got to do something, and I don't know what he can do right here. He's got a few more. He's even sucking on his own hatchery. That's an interesting move, but yeah, he's definitely trying to whittle down the corruptor numbers for Petraeus. He's down to 19, which is still more than Pig has, but yeah, I mean, he's got to do it. So here we go. Pig moving across, thinking about moving in there, but he's very skittish about leaving his Broodlords out and exposed. And it's quite understandable, because he must not... Oh, actually dragging in the Vipers, taking out the Viper numbers for Petraeus. He lost 2, instantly going to be getting 2 more. He's still got 3 on the way. And now he's feeling a little bit better after taking out 2 Vipers. He's feeling a bit better about moving out the Broodlords. He's still not going to auto attack, just control A, just attack everything. But he's feeling a little bit better. And here he goes, moving out, going to start laying siege to this base with the Broodlords. Just setting it a little bit, just so we can, it's basically a scout. It's a Broodling scout, almost. You just attack once, you run away, the Broodlings get a good scout off, see exactly what's going on over there. And it's pretty good. It's pretty good for both players, so yeah, Viper's doing a great job at shredding the Corruptors though. So the Corruptor numbers are quite important, and they are getting killed quite fast, but Petraeus just responding with building a lot more Vipers. And Pig, I don't know, man. I really think like he needs to start splitting up his forces, maybe sending a small ground force over there, start trying to take this base out. The Broodlords are trying to get out there, but Pig, time is not on his side. He needs to do something right now, because right now he is 4 base versus 6 base Zerg, and that is a horrible position, especially when there's only 10 bases on the map. He absolutely cannot let Petraeus just freely take all of this stuff. And this slow play is not working out for him right now. It's not working out at all. He's got to take a base back. Otherwise, he is just going to be in a horrible, horrible position. But I don't know, man. I don't know what he can possibly do in this situation. He's just not making it happen. He's got to push in. He's got to make something happen. Sure, he may lose a few brood lords, but he's got to do something. And here we go. Petraeus moving out with all of his forces, and the brood lords moving back. I mean, technically, it's the right play to pull your brood lords back to not get the not get sucked in by them. But still, I mean, if you don't make any sort of decent play, if you don't really pull things out, then you're going to lose the game because you don't have the economy to deal with it. And here we go, massive battle going on here. Fungals on both sides, beautiful fungals on Petraeus' Corruptors, beautiful fungals over here. Some of that Viper crap going down, which actually stops people from attacking. Major attack, the Broodlord shredding everything on the ground for Petraeus, and his Hydralisk advantage, I don't think it's really helping him. Not that many Broodlords getting yanked across to Petraeus' side of the map, and this, I think, is a pretty good victory for PiG, because the main thing that Petraeus had going for him was yank the Broodlords across and the Hydras just own them, but now that has not been happening, and I think PiG, this is his chance to push in and take out this base, and he absolutely has to take out this base before there are just no minerals left for him to mine. He's got to take it out, he's got to put a hatchery there, and he's got to make it happen. And because yeah, without a base right now, without some sort of equalizing base factor, he is just going to be screwed. So there we go, pushing in nice and hard. Petraeus has no choice but to just fall back right here, and this may be, and here we go, a bunch of swarm hosts coming out, but instantly getting fungled. And Brood Lords on the fungal swarm host, doing a great job taking them out. And here we go, what the hell is going on here? Just a ton of links running in and causing some havoc. And of course, PiG's army is so slow, it's going to take so long for him to respond to these guys, and he is going to lose so much stuff here. This is going to be quite bad. The Ling's actually not attacking anything. They should be attacking something, but PiG, meanwhile, moving in with his massive, massive air army. And I don't know what Petraeus is trying to do going for the Swarm Host, because Swarm Host can't attack air, last I recalled. So, yeah, I mean, with a massive air army in PiG's hands, you've got to have something that can attack air. Otherwise, I just do not know. I don't know what he can possibly be thinking. He's going for a ton of Queens. Queens not all that good versus Brood Lords. I don't think that's going to be the answer. And PiG for now, he's not worrying about anything else. He's just moving in with his Brood Lords. He's going to annihilate everything. Oh, look at this. That is insane, man. The Swarm Host attacking the Brood Lords. And there we go. That is how you stop Brood Lords, man. Just Locust, man. The Locust just completely stopping the Brood Lord aggression dead. And I feel like PiG should just ignore these guys and just go attack a building or something, because... Or just manually stop attacking the Lotus. Just manually attack the Swarm Host. Just get over there, manually attack the Swarm Host, because obviously just auto-attacking at this point is not going to be good. These guys, I'm pretty sure they can't attack air. I'm pretty sure they can't. We will see. I'm sure it'll happen at some point in this game. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, because there's... maybe they can. Let's see. Let's see if they actually do. It's going to be interesting. Regardless, what do we got going on here? Bunch of roaches coming in, bunch of spine crawlers here. So they're trying to take this out. They're in the back pocket there, taking out some workers. Good job right there, good job. And the Broodlord aggression just going to continue to... but it seems like PiG's army has run out of steam. They've still got a lot of forces there. Stupid amount of Corruptors, stupid amount of Broodlords. And I don't think that Petraeus really has anything he can do about this force. I think he's just going to be... I don't know. I don't know what he can really do about this. And I really don't think he has an army that can deal with this army. So I feel like he's just... I don't know. I really don't know what his plan is at the moment. I'm not sure if he has a plan. But... yeah, we will see right now. The spine crawlers, or the queens, sorry, got to be defending this. PiG, maybe you should just mosey on over to this base, just take it out, get the economy back in his favour. He's kind of defending his own 5th base now, which is good. Oh, Jesus, bloody, that's a lot of stuff to be building, but I suppose it's definitely worth it. I suppose if he leaves these forces, just for a little while, the swarm host can just completely annihilate his 5th base. So he's got to leave at least 2 or 3 brood lords to take care of these guys. But I mean, move the rest over, take this base out, because. And let's have a look at the unit count. What does Petraeus have? He does have 21 corruptors somewhere. So he's not completely just annoying pig with bloody swarm host. He's actually got a ton of corruptors, and yeah, that's quite serious. He's also got 4 brood lords. I don't know where those guys are, but they're not actually doing all that much. So I just don't know, man. Here we go. Pig actually push it out, hoping to yank in some units. Maybe chain yank in a couple of corruptors or vipers or brood lords or whatever he can get his hands on. But here we go. Oh, yanking a brood lord out. That guy got destroyed, and that is a 1 unit, which Pig will never see again. He's getting a lot of vipers out for his own army. I feel like it's drink time again, actually, because this is like we said, this is a long game. And I still don't know who's quite in the lead. I thought it was Pig, but having a look at the units tab, Petraeus does have a very fair amount of air units. He's got 22 corruptors. He's got 4 brood lords. He's got 4 infestors. He's got some swarm hosts as well, which are going to be annoying for a very long time. And yeah, I'm just really not sure what's going to happen. So I don't know, we'll give it a couple more minutes, but we may have to start speeding this game up because really not a lot's happening right now. He's just sort of sitting back. They're just happily mining away and just using extra minerals for that sort of stuff. Petraeus is actually starting to get low on minerals, so this base is really important to him right now. And I feel like Pig, if he makes a concerted effort to really take that out, he could do a lot of damage. But I suppose when it comes to brood lords and corruptors, you want to keep them all in the same area, because even if he halves this army and takes it out, those 22 corruptors could just shred half of this army quite easily. So he wants to keep them all in one group. He wants to protect this 5th base, and that means that basically he's got no option to take this base out, which is a bit unfortunate, because taking this base out really would just completely give him the game right there. If he took that base out, he would have the game. So yeah, both players quite gas scarved though, and of course everything is gas at this point. So actually getting a bit hot. Better turn the AC back on, but not really a lot happening right here. I've said that a few times. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to be speeding up this game, because it's yeah, you can see the game time right there. It's long. It's a very long game. So we're just going to be speeding up a little bit here. ×4, I feel like that's a pretty good option. Keeping an eye out. Corruptors sort of jumping around a little bit. Not really much happening. If something starts to happen, we will slow it down. I think that's it. I think the plus and the minus. So I didn't actually need to show you the game time there, but now you know how stupidly long the damn thing is. We're actually halfway into this game, if you can believe that. So here we go. Oh, a nice force coming out. No brood lords, but an air army hoping to yank some stuff in. And we'll speed this up again. Yes, the locust coming out. I wish I could zoom in. Actually, I think they can zoom in. There we go. There's a bit more zoom on there. Very nice job. And that's probably screwing up my frame rate a little bit. The frame rate is actually gone down quite a bit when I did that. But there's so many locusts, so many of these guys. I think actually, let me just adjust that. Yeah, it was actually, what are we on now? We're on fast right now. So my FPS is actually quite slow at the moment. I've got a best graphics card in, yeah, it's really nice, like a 780 GTX Ti. It should be running max, but it's actually running 25, because there's just so many locusts and broodlings and all over that stuff. It's just nuts. So anyway, we'll get rid of that frame rate. We will speed it up again. Hopefully these guys decide to do something at some point, because, yeah, these guys are just going on forever. And, yeah, we'll Alt-Z this so we can zoom out so we can see a little bit more here. And Pigman is not taking out Petraeus' 5th base, and so this game will just go on. Let's pop it up. 8 times speed. I think this is 8 times speed. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I hit the wrong button. What did I do? What did I do? Oh. Okay, I've buggered this up somehow. Alright, hold on a sec. I'll get right back into it. Oh, no, there we go. I just pressed the pause. I meant to press the game to actually pause the replay casting, but... Okay, so Control-O. Shift-O. Oh, it's lagging behind so badly because... Yeah, so Shift-O, it is at 8 times speed. I'm going to just be running in here. And we're just going to be watching this because we do have a bunch of locusts covered up here. Slow this down again. Locusts covered in back in here. Just put a bunch out. But for the most part, the action is right here. And let's just speed it up and let's just watch the hilarity going on. Because there's really not much happening. I mean, PiG obviously wants to finish it. Maybe Petraeus wants to finish it. But I don't know, man. They're really just not doing anything. They're really just happy to sit here. Both players really don't have enough to feel like they could move out and really make something happen. And there's kind of this line down the middle and neither player really wants to cross it. So for now they're just going to be sitting back and really not doing anything. So we're just going to sit back at times 8 speed and see what happens. Oh, here we go. There's some action. I don't think actually anything actually got destroyed. Maybe a couple units, but the Vipers did try and yank some stuff in. So maybe times 8 speed, not the best option. Oh, the Infestor's actually jumping out some of these guys as well. And the Broodlords, yeah, he's trying to get a little bit of an edge here, but there's so many Broodlords for PiG. I don't think it's going to happen. And he's so worried about his Broodlords getting yanked out to actually move them forward. And there's so much stuff on the ground. Look at all these Spore Crawlers for both players. It's just absolutely crazy. So either player, if they move in, the other player is going to have the home ground advantage as far as the Spore Crawlers go. Oh, there goes a Broodlord right there. Nice, very nice yank from Petraeus right there. He's going to try and do another one, pretty sure. Here we go, the Viper's coming around, getting another Broodlord yanked out. Very, very nice. Got a Viper as well, so pretty good job. And Petraeus starting to take maybe a bit of a lead with those Viper yanks. We haven't seen any really, really good yanks from PiG so far, or at least in the last couple of minutes or so. The Infestors continually using their energy to try. Oh, yanking a couple of Infestors as well. The Broodlord's taking them out. That's quite good, but the Infestor managed to get a fungal on the Corruptors and a bunch of yanks going out everywhere. What speed are we on? We're just on normal speed at the moment. I keep forgetting which speed we're on, but Petraeus actually doing a couple of nice stuff. He's getting a fungal out on the Vipers. If he can keep this going, this would be insane. And there we go, one Viper going down. It's Queen Transfusion trying to keep them alive, but they are going to be going down. And not going to be good. I think PiG's 5th is mined out, so there's all the minerals gone from that base. And Petraeus mining on Vapors right now. The gas is going down. Income-wise, we've got a few minerals coming down for Petraeus. And yeah, he's doing a pretty good job. Sending us the Locusts in there to actually wipe out the workers. But we are on the edge of economy not actually mattering anymore. Not mattering anymore. Is mattering even a word? I think it is. I'm not really sure anymore. But here we go. Yanking in a Queen. Queen is going to go down to mass Broodlords. And this game is just going to go on and on and on. We are officially... are we officially at the point where there's no more minerals? Petraeus has still got a little bit to go. Still got a little bit of mining to go, but he's almost finished. And all he's producing right now is creep tumors. So great job there. The Queen's getting yanked out. The whatever the hell these things are called. The Infestor's getting yanked out. Yanking out a couple of the air units as well. Let's have a look at the unit count. Still 19. Petraeus actually has 31 Corruptors. So he's starting to get a definite advantage there in terms of the Corruptor numbers. I feel like it's not... I mean, the Broodlord numbers, I don't think they really matter anymore. It's all about the air right now. And Petraeus, he has the air advantage. I mean, Broodlords, he doesn't have a lot. But he's got a ton of Corruptors. He's still got he's still got Vipers. Who's got Vipers? One of these players has got to have Vipers. Don't tell me that neither of them have any Vipers, because that would suck. So, yeah, we can see that PiG obviously feels like he doesn't quite have the Corruptor numbers, because he does have a bunch of Queens underhand. He does have a bunch of Infestors, some added damage. And here we go, Broodlords on the high ground. just completely decimating this forward sort of attack group of spine crawlers that Petraeus was trying to move out, and the Locust trying to assist, kind of helping, but in the end, Locust coming in here, taking out some infestors. This is not good. Obviously, Pig caught in the flank with some Locusts and took out a couple of infestors. That is definitely not a good thing to be happening, because he can barely afford to build any infestors right now. This thing is empty. Yes, it is completely empty. And Locusts coming down. The Broodlords have got to keep on top of these Locusts, because otherwise the Locusts will start taking out things that actually matter. So it's a bit crazy right here, but right now, what do we got going on, man? I mean, unit-wise, yes, I think it's going to come down to the corruptor numbers. I think, and it's pretty much the Locusts are really locking down what the Broodlords can do, because the Broodlords have to keep the Locusts under control. Otherwise, the Locusts will just start to shred all of the ground units, zoom into normal space. And the Queens, I mean, he can't afford to lose his Queens. He can't afford to lose his infestors. If he loses the Queens or the infestors, he is screwed, because he does not have the corruptor numbers to deal with Petraeus' army. So, I think what Petraeus is trying to do right now is use the Locusts to go for a slow kill of the ground units, to go for a slow kill of the Queens, of the infestors. Once the Queens and the infestors are dead, then he can just march in with the corruptors. He'll have the advantage, and without infestor support or Queen support, the corruptor numbers of Pig will just go down. Remember, it's 19 versus 31. Both of them have, well, looks like Petraeus has 3-2, and Pig has 3-1. So he's definitely not in a good position to be pushing away those increased corruptor numbers. And there's really nothing he can actually do. I mean, the only thing that could happen is if there's a full-on engagement and the infestors get some great hits off on the corruptors, fungal-wise, and the Queens do some damage as well. But I just don't know. I just don't see it happening. I mean, Petraeus locking down the ground with his Locusts. I feel like it's just going to be brutal. Oh, beautiful. Another corruptor bites the dust, and Pig does not have an answer for that. So, man, it's just... it's not working out well for Pig at all right now. Yanking a couple of those Vipers back, and that was actually a good job. He yanked a couple of the Vipers back with his own Vipers, managed to save most of the corruptors, so great job there. He's still at 17 with 3 Vipers of his own, and Petraeus only has 1 Viper left, and he can't build any more. So the Vipers is down to 1, and something's complaining on my computers, keep making beeping noises, but whatever, we'll just have to go with it. It's almost pointless having the production tab up anymore, because what the hell can Pig actually do? He can, even if he just gets out a bunch of lings and starts sending them around, I mean, what's he going to do? Like a base race or something? There's a million spine crawlers on the map. A base race is not going to happen with lings, so really, I mean, there's no point even sacrificing harvesters anymore, because my mouse, I think my mouse is out of batteries. That's probably what's been complaining, so yeah, we will have to get my secondary mouse, plug that in, and just go with it, because I'm very happy that I still have a secondary mouse. And yeah, the primary one, let's plug that in. I don't know why, but it should, the primary mouse, it isn't optical. It should still have batteries. It doesn't seem, oh no, there it is, it's still working. I don't know, we're not missing much anyway. Look at it, oh, he's actually got a fungal on the Vipers, so I missed something major there. Looks like the Vipers came out, and a Petraeus got a huge fungal off on the Vipers, and that was very, very huge. So, man, Pig, man, losing those 3 Vipers, that's going to be huge, and now it's just going to be an endless battle where Petraeus is basically just going to be attacking the ground, trying to attack the ground as best he can. Pig can hold him off for, I don't know, an unlimited amount of time with the Broodlords, but with no Viper play really happening. I mean, we got 1 Viper each, and maybe that'll help, but I just don't know. Where we go, Corruptor's going around over here on the high ground, trying to make something happen with that 1 Viper, and managed to take out like 1 Corruptor or something that's keeping watch over there, but not much else. Bunch of changelings coming in, because why the hell not? Managed to grab the watchtower as well, so right now Petraeus sees absolutely everything. And where is the Viper for Petraeus? It's over here, trying to find something to actually suck up, to get some energy. I feel like Pig can't afford another one of these, because if he could afford a Viper, he probably would have killed it by now. Oh man, alright, let's speed it up. Let's speed it up. Let's get a move on right here, because, where are we? Alt Z, oh, it's already zoomed out. Let's Alt Z it once again, and just keep it going. You will notice the frame rate will go to absolute crap when I'm doing this, but, I mean, I don't think we're really missing out on too much right now anyway. It's just Broodlords. Let's get the units tab up. So what you want to watch out for is the Corruptor numbers and the Viper numbers. And I guess for Pig, the Queens and the Infestors. He's got no Queens left. I think he's lost all of his Queens. The Infestors as well. No, he's got a lot. They're obviously just rolling off their back side. So these guys actually moving out. They're not really too worried about the Vipers anymore. So I think he just lost 1 to Viper numbers, though. And he is down to 9 Broodlords. So they're slowly going down. Very, very, very slowly. And, oh man, the Vipers are like the MVPs of this entire game. They're like, oh, he almost lost to it. So close to losing that. Here we go. Broodlords. Oh, did you see them just both get yanked in? So down to 7 Broodlords. We've still got 1 Viper for each player. This guy got so close to being killed though. And that is really, really insane. Look, he's keeping the Broodlords. Oh man. That is just absolutely nuts. And they're just gonna keep on going, so we've got to keep on watching this at 8 times speed and just wait. I mean, it's got to come down to Viper play, and maybe over the very, very long term, Vipers can make something happen, but I just don't know. I just really don't know what's going to happen. So times 8 speed, this is as fast as we can go. So it's 1:51 is when this game ends, and it's gotten completely past the point where anybody's in the lead. I mean, I feel like Petraeus has the advantage because he's got the Corruptors, and he's just the only thing that can go wrong is if he commits, and he commits on Pig's side of the map. And then there'll be a ton of Spores, there'll be a ton of Infestors and a ton of Queens, and they could provide the advantage that Pig needs to take out all the Corruptors. And if that happens, then maybe Pig will win. But I still feel like he'll be in a bad position at that point. So, anyway, let's just keep moving this game. I'm mainly worried about uploading this game, man. I've got like 100k, 100 kilobytes per second upload, and this thing is currently 5.5 gig. And that is it's going to take like 2 solid days to upload this video. It is nuts, man. Absolutely nuts. So, yeah. Uploading this thing is going to be very, very painful. So, we will see anyway exactly what happens. Bunch of stuff over here. Petraeus deciding that Locust flanking both sides is going to be the way to go here. And, yeah, we'll see how it happens. I wonder if you should just get like a swarm host and just start attacking one of these. Just start attacking buildings over there just for the hell of it. Go now. This looks like these guys, are they going for a bit of a run out here? Are they going to go and see what they can do? It looks like it is. Infestor does see them underground, but... Oh, a fungal, beautiful fungal, man. If Petraeus can keep this going. But no, nothing else in that vicinity. That could really... if he had more infested, he could have just chain fungal these guys. And that would have been the end right there. The absolute end, but... Yeah, I guess it just didn't happen. So the game will go on. Just going to speed it up once again. And yeah, just move on in. We're just going to be keeping track of the Vipers, I guess. It's all about the Vipers right here. And we've still got... Do we still have a Viper? Does Petraeus still have a Viper? That's the question. Does he? I thought he still had a Viper somewhere. Maybe he lost it. Oh, if he lost his Viper, it could only have been to Corruptors or maybe some sort of fungal play. But if he's lost the Viper, that could be big. I mean, it's definitely because that means long term, Pig still has a Viper. He can still slowly take Petraeus' army down, to slowly take out Corruptors and maybe get a victory. But overall, Petraeus still has the advantage. The only thing that's stopping him from just moving on in and annihilating Pig's army is the fact that Pig has a million Spore Crawlers right here. This is his home territory right there. And Corruptors moving in will take serious losses from the Queens, from the Infestors, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, that would be bad. So that is why Petraeus is not moving in, but he's got to move in at some point. Somebody has got to move in. And I mean, look at this. It's actually, look at these kills, man. 107, 76, 174. These guys have got an insane amount of kills. And of course, the kills get counted on these guys. How many kills do the Swarm hosts have, I wonder? 417. These guys have got a lot of kills because, of course, yeah, I don't know why the Broodlords don't have many more kills, but it is just the amount of units lost in this game. Can we see that? Resources lost. It's not going up because, of course, these guys don't count, but units lost, does it count? It doesn't count. I don't think it doesn't count broodlings. It doesn't count broodlords. Well, so it doesn't count broodlings or locusts. So these numbers are still insanely large, but they're manageably large. So yeah, we're on 8 times, aren't we? I'll just speed it up again just to make sure. Yeah. Let's have a look, man. We just keep an eye on this locust. Where is this locust anyway? He's here. He's somewhere on the map. Not too far away. Probably in with this group of corruptors. There we go, that guy. So we'll just keep an eye on him in the top of the map while we're running along at 8 times speed. The corruptors trying to go in. Didn't quite happen though. And where is this Viper? Can we control shift F this guy? Nah, my follow mode is still not working. But he is right there, so keep it moving on. We got 15 minutes left to the end of the game. So yeah, there we go. Just keeping on moving in. And yeah, Pig actually moving back. He's actually giving up this center colony area. I don't know why, because he could hold out there pretty much forever, but falling back a little bit. He's got to plant these guys down. He may just be saying, you know what, GG at this point. He may just be saying, you know, whatever, but I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what either of these players are doing, man. They're just holding on for the longest time, trying to make it happen. And this amount of queens, man, could do a lot of damage to the corruptor force that comes in. So Petraeus, I don't know, man. Maybe he should just wipe out the rest of Pig's buildings and then just go for a kamikaze all-in on the spore crawlers of Pig, man, and just try and finish it off that way. Because even if he loses all of his forces, all he has to do is take out the buildings, and maybe it could happen. We're still on times 8, right? I'll make sure. Yeah, we went before I slowed it down a little bit, but oh, where are the Vipers going? Where are the Vipers going? Oh, kind of going in, but the corruptor force of Petraeus almost took it in, but the Viper did survive. If the Viper died, that would have been a different story, but he's not losing too much. Petraeus is not losing too much, so he's fine. Finally putting in the spore crawlers right there. Maybe the spore crawlers were starting to take a bit of damage. I mean, his broodlord numbers have gone down quite severely. 6 broodlords, and I think he's starting to have a lot of trouble actually dealing with the locusts. I think that's what the problem was. The locusts were actually getting past. Because, I mean, how many swarm hosts does Petraeus have? I think it's a lot. I think it's like 10 or 12. And I don't think he's lost any so far. So, yeah. Broodlords have slowly been going down for Pig, but Petraeus has not lost any broodlords. He's swarm hosts, he's got 14 of them at the moment. And how many kills there? 506, 220. They're pretty insane, man. It's pretty over the top. Yeah, and it's all broodlords they've been killing. Maybe infest every now and then, but mainly broodlords. Oh, sorry, broodlings. And yes, looks like Petraeus finally getting sick of this game. He's just tucking some stuff in there. Very taking him out. Pig knocking down a spine crawler. I don't know how long that will last. It's just infested terrors though, not actually locusts. The locusts would be a whole other matter, but there we go. The game moving on. I think maybe the game is slowing itself down. No, I think I actually slow it down. I just don't realise so. Here we go. The corruptor force moving out again, but Petraeus definitely keeping his corruptors close in hand and not giving these air forces any room to maneuver. So there we go, there we go, there we go. I'm fully zoomed out, I think. Yes, we are. And we're getting close to the end. It's like 8 minutes now till the game finishes. So we're going to slow it down. We're going to see exactly how these guys do it. A nice fungal on the corruptor force would be all it needs. And I think Petraeus would just move in. He started to lose a couple of corruptors. He's down to 25, but Pig is down to 16. And he's doing a pretty good job. Doing an alright job. So yeah, here we go, knocking in a queen. Broodlords are going to be taking that out. So taking out a queen, every little bit helps. I mean, every little bit helps. But, oh man. This game has actually been going on for too long. I'm starting to feel a bit crook. I think I've been talking for too long or something like that. Got a few sultanas here, so I may be eating a few of those just while we wait for the end to come. And thank God I've got a mute button here, so I can mute while I'm eating some sultanas. There we go. Very, very nice sultanas, and definitely sultanas, I don't know why, but I feel like if I'm feeling a bit crook, sultanas and muesli bars always make me feel better. They always make you feel just less crook. You know, especially when it's a stomach thing for the most part. It makes me feel a bit less crook, but... Corruptor's going in the backside, actually. Petraeus just sending them in. Not sure if that was a good idea because he's really just chucked away his advantage here. But hoping to get something out of just chucking so many corruptors away. And yeah, I don't know. However, what are we at right now? Normal speed. We want to be faster speed at least, but 4 minutes left. Somebody's going to have to give in. Petraeus actually really moving in here. Is just pushing hard. Pig is just like, I don't know, man. I feel like losing all those corruptors, maybe not the best idea, but he's only got 6 broodlords though, so I don't know if he can actually make it happen. Here we go, the corruptors coming in. Fungal on the broodlords, and now the corruptors are going to work. The broodlords all going down. Oh, a lot of them going down anyway. He just lost 2, so that was a nice move. And the corruptor army going there. It's something's got. I think people are just. Something's got to happen, man. Come on, something's got to happen. Don't make me speed up this game again, because it's so close to the end. I'll say it. I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. Something's got to happen. There we go. The locusts are starting to take out a lot of ground units, though. There's just not nearly enough broodlords to deal with this many locusts. The locusts are just overwhelming everything, destroying everything. And I think this is the point where Pig has got to call it, because he does not have enough to deal with this many locusts. The locusts are just destroying everything on the ground. He can't keep up with the locusts anymore. And Fungal on the broodlords. So great job there. I thought it was all about the air, but in the end, it turned out to be the locusts, which just made up all the things. So yeah, I mean, Petraeus choosing to go in, to get in nice and dirty, and to take out all of the broodlords as best he could. There's only 4 left. Getting some fungals off of them with the infestors. I mean, even if he just ran all his corruptors in here and just destroyed all the broodlords, he would pretty much win, because then Pig would have a whole bunch of corruptors, and they're not good at all versus the swarm host, so he could not win at that point. But he's still a bit worried. I mean, there's so many swarm hosts, but yeah, there's so many units lost. Pig is losing a lot of units right now. Petraeus not really losing that many. And here we go, the spore call is going down slowly to locust fire, actually throwing out some infested Terrans here to sort of keep the locusts, keep them active, keep them from attacking the spore crawlers. But the infestors are all out of energy, and the locusts are just keep on going. He's even yanking out a couple of swarm hosts, but he hasn't got the damage to kill him right here. He just does not have the damage. This spore actually managed to get a couple of hits off on the broodlord, but in the end, Petraeus has got this right now. Some great play with just slowly taking out the broodlords. And Pig used to have enough broodlords to deal with this many locusts. He does not anymore. And ground eventually is just going to go down. So there we go. I think this is it. I think Petraeus 100% has this victory. And there goes the GG from Pig, finally conceding defeat. I think the last 5 minutes in particular, it's been sort of ramping up to the fact that, yeah, just Petraeus, every single broodlord he took out got him closer and closer to the victory. And yeah, man, Pig held out a long time though. And I thought when he had that one Viper left, maybe he could make it happen, but no. In the end, it just did not happen. And I can't believe I just cast that game, man. That's like a hurdle and a half. But I'm done now, and I think I'm going to go just sleep for like a day or two. Anyway, big congratulations for Petraeus for winning that game. Absolutely epic. And I thought it would be Swarmhost versus Swarmhost, but Broodlord versus Swarmhost, just as awesome. And I apologize for that beeping. I don't know what's happening. It's some USB thing that's going on. But anyway, beautiful stuff. And that's it. We're done. So we'll be casting the third place matchup tomorrow. It's going to be a PvP, Sage versus Blisk. I promise you there are no games that are as long as this one in there. So yeah, it should be awesome. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. Goddamn beeping. Stay tuned. It's going nuts. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoy this game. If you're still watching, man, you are hardcore at this point anyway. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later. This has been Hairy Muppet. I'll check you guys out later.